Hello everyone and welcome to Stormvault Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video is a Black Library review. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at one of the many publications brought out by Black Library and giving you our thoughts on the book, audio drama, whatever it happens to be. Now, I will say that we will try to keep this review to as spoiler free as possible, though there will obviously be points where we talk about things happening in the book. We will try to keep away from saying any of the major plot points, so you can go and read this book for yourself. We'll just give you our thoughts on whether or not we think it is something you may be interested in. So we'll use this video to instruct you on maybe is this sort of going to be a book that you would like to see. With that all said and out the way, let's get cracking on. Let's talk a little bit about the book that we have reviewed this time. And so in today's Black Library review, we're going to be checking out Stormvault by Andy Clark. This one is narrated by Charlotte Worthing if you pick up the audio book version of it, and was really well done. I can't say I don't remember listening to anything by Charlotte Worthing narrated yet, so really fun to see her do what I thought was a great job at narrating this audiobook. Let's get cracking on into the review though. And so our story, this is effectively a war-focused story without a doubt. An ancient labyrinth in an eerie subterranean ruin of creeping shadow, the dead city of Mordavia has long concealed a secret of unimaginable power. It has concealed a Stormvault, now sort of brought to the light around to the realms about it by the Necroquake. Vast armies now gather around and war drums thunder, bringing even more armies to the battle as the perilous treasure of this cursed city are perhaps about to be unleashed. We join Lord Celestin Kaylani Thunderblade as she leads her celestial vindicators into battle. She's determined to ensure the city's secrets remain forever under lock and key or to destroy them. Yet the odds are stacked against her. There are so many more armies coming in to try and take this relic, from plague-ridden legions of Maggotkin, swarming tides of Skaven, greenskin hordes of all variety from ogres, savage orcs, iron jaws, gloom spites, and even the sons of Behemoth. And even some mercenary Caradron, who are, allies or, sort of allies. All are racing for this prize and they're shattering the city around it, but worse still, something is stirring underneath the city from its deep slumber to wakefulness, and at the head of a desperate alliance between herself, the Caradron, and some Free Guild soldiery, Thunderblade must battle all these other twisted warlords and dark sorcerers and dark sorcery, and even her own inner demons of her own warrior chamber to achieve victory in Mordavia, lest she pay the ultimate price of an eternal death. And so the story's purpose, it really is to show the power and very real danger that the Necroquake has caused by either causing the failure of awakening or even unsealing many of the Stormvaults across the mortal realms. It really does try to show the power of the artifact within this Stormvault as being something truly world-breaking. Like, these artifacts are artifacts that perhaps maybe slay gods, as we've seen in Godsbane, or as other times perhaps even, particular creatures. We know that Catacross's soul was inside a Stormvault at one point as well. It really just does a good job and really makes it its purpose to show you how powerful and how sort of wanted this particular artifact is from all different races within the mortal realms. And so our main character, Kaylani Thunderblade, Lord Celestin Kaylani Thunderblade, she's a member of the Celestial Vindicators, one of the many different storm hosts that have been in the mortal realms for quite some time now, ever since Sigmar's initial launch. Now, for those who don't know, she is from a warrior chamber and a storm host that is widely renowned as being very ferocious combatants. They never back down, they never retreat, they always will charge headlong into danger trying to do Sigmar's work. And now generally the Lord Celestins of this particular chamber are those that have some control on that fiery zeal and passion for battle and for the challenge of battle that many have, and Kaylani is certainly one of those. A little bit more history is we have the Celestial Vindicator, Thossus Bladeborn, who is now, never to be reforged again, just because of how sort of single-minded he became after so many reforgings, and yeah, he really just turned into this monster. Now, Kaylani Thunderblade, she's obviously chasing these inner demons away of her own sort of want to go and fight and prove herself, but also needing during the fight to adapt and adjust. And so over the course of the story, she learns to overcome these shortcomings and learns to, not embrace at parts, but also in other times embrace her storm host sort of inner being, this part of her that is, all different storm hosts have this, part of Sigmar's soul with them, and she is the wrathful warrior, almost what Sigmar used to be back in the world that was. He was the warrior king back then, now he is the god king, he's no longer a warrior, and these Celestial Vindicators are maybe a little bit of something looking at how Sigmar used to be more than what he is now. And so over the course of the book, she really does learn a lot about herself, and we learn more of how she continues to control and choosing when to unleash that inner rage within her. But what does this book do? Well, now, there is no hiding. This book is 100% a war story, or I guess if you are going to call it by what many Warhammer fans generally call these sort of books, they're called bolter porn. That is to say, it's fighting nearly all the time in this book. But I think it does a good job of keeping things interesting. There is a chance when you've got, say, one-on-one fights in this, one army versus the other, it can be very sort of straight in how things work. For me, the fact that we've got different parts and different armies all moving, and even different parts of those armies fighting against each other as well, it really does lead to more intrigue, more suspense, more excitement in the battle scenes, as we aren't quite sure, what parties are going to take place. So, if this was just straight up Stormcast versus Nurgle, it would be a lot less exciting to have, fighting all the time than it is throwing in, like 6 or 7 different factions and even different parts within those factions fighting each other, which just really adds a lot to the story. And so, who would like this book? So, definitely, Stormcast do get the majority of the screen time within this book, but with so many armies and races in this, and, the simplicity of being just a fighting war story, this is pretty much a good book for anyone, I would recommend. If you're looking to read, about a big battle, this does that job really, really well. It is what it is, I think, in that sense, which is good. It does a thing, and it does it pretty well. In summary, this is simple yet effective. It does one thing in that battle story and does a good job of making it enjoyable. I enjoyed my entire way throughout of it. This uses lots of different factions, and using those lots of different factions over the 1v1 battle certainly lifted up what could have been a bit of a boring and bland story. But I think adding all those factions and putting that little bit of extra intrigue and mystery into the story of these different factions all vying for the one thing certainly lifted it up. This is not going to be a right home about story, but it was enjoyable. It definitely got its message across, showing what Stormvaults are all about. For me, solid 6 out of 10. It was a good, fine listen. And so that is the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. Please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, turn on your notifications and click the bell so you get updated every time we put out a video. We're putting out videos for Tabletop Wargaming every single day. If you'd like to come chat more with us here at Cinderful Gaming, you can do so on our Discord server, which is linked down in the video's description. And also, if you'd like to help support the channel, you can do so either by Patreon or YouTube members. As a special thank you to everyone, we'd like to give a shout out to our Patreons: Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lowe, Alderin Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Q Dynamic, Anthony B, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Derek, and GRP390. And a special shout out to our YouTube members as well: Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, and John Castle. Lastly, a special shout out to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing channel artwork you see. Thank you very much for all your hard work. That's it for today, folks, though. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.